Alright, we are finally continuing with the reverse trike build. Now, first couple things we need to do is figure out where the radiator and the gas tank is going to go. The radiator is going to be a little bit easier because I think it would work perfect right here. I'm either going to have it lean forward a little bit or have it straight up and down. I'm not sure which. I know that straight up and down is going to get better airflow, but having it lean forward is going to leave more space for the wiring, and it's going to look a little better. So I'm not sure. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out where the gas tank's going to go, but I think the radiator is just going to go right there. Clean the box a little bit, make it look a little more presentable. There we go. Alright, so before we continue on the reverse trike project, we have to thank today's sponsor, which is Prime Weld. They sent us out a beautiful AC/DC TIG stick welder, which we can finally now weld aluminum with this machine, so I'm very excited about that. Now, because they're sponsoring today's video, I'm going to be leaving links in the description below for not only their website, but also the welder we are using in this video. Go check them out. They have a lot of plasma cutters, MIG welders, TIG welders, combination welders, all kinds of stuff. So definitely go check out their website. And for now, let's open this thing up and see what we got. Got the TIG torch. Ooh. Wow, that's a lot of knobs and dials. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, looking at this at first, I was a little intimidated by all these knobs and dials. For someone like me who's never really TIG welded aluminum before, I've done it once, but it was years and years ago, back in class, and the machine was already set up for me. Basically, I just walked in the booth, struck an arc, and passed that little test. It wasn't really much, so it doesn't really count. So I don't know that much about pulse TIG welding. I know a little bit of, of it by watching This Old Tony videos, but I don't think enough to know how to set up a machine like this, not unless I watch those videos again. But looking at this, you can see there's a chart right here that greatly describes what each one of these dials does, and you can simply figure it out just by looking at this. Now, I know that other welders also have this feature, but I don't think to this extent, at least for the welders that I've seen. Most of them just have a chart with the symbol, and you gotta figure out what symbol it is and what the symbol means. So with this, you can just simply figure it out just by looking at it, which I really like. Now, obviously, there's still going to be a learning curve with this kind of stuff. If you're new to this kind of stuff like me, you're going to have to figure out what welding current to run on an 1/8" plate, which most of that stuff you can learn just by doing. Just strike an arc. If it's not hot enough, turn it up. Play around with the settings and learn by doing. That's how I like to learn. So, moving on to what this machine comes with. Obviously, you got your standard TIG or stick stinger, as well as the ground clamp, and comes with a hose. Also comes with a foot pedal, as well as a trigger finger thingy that you put on the TIG torch, and you can start it with your finger, which I'm excited to see what it's like welding with that. Also comes with some standard TIG torch stuff, collets, the different cups, and Also comes with, I believe, 3/32. It's gray, which I think that means this is for aluminum. Pretty sure, but not 100% on that. I'll have to look that up. Good thing is, this machine is dual amperage, which is good for us because we don't have 220 in this shed, so we'll be able to use this machine. Also comes with a flow meter, which I've been meaning to buy, but I've just kind of been cheaping out, but good thing this welder comes with one. Also, I'm super excited about this because I've heard some really good reviews about this TIG torch, and this machine comes with this standard. It's not like an add-on that you have to pay for. It comes with this comes with it standard, which this is a flex head TIG torch, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I think let's set this machine up and see what it can do. Alright, so I think the perfect test for this new machine is building some stainless steel headers for this project. Now, I bought some mufflers, the same mufflers I used for the Ninja, and we're going to be putting them here facing up. I'm going to have 2 of the exhaust ports go to one muffler, the other 2 exhaust ports going to the other muffler. I think that's going to be a little bit easier than to having all 4 exhaust ports route to one muffler. I think that's going to be a little bit too complicated if I try to do that, so let's just have 2 mufflers and then, you know, have half the engine go to one muffler, the other half go to the other muffler. I think that's going to be a lot easier to build. is the most uncomfortable position ever. Alright, so we got the headers pretty much almost finished. We still need to, finish welding them all the way around and you do all that kind of stuff. Now, we're kind of running low on argon, and it's the weekend right now. So if we run out of argon right now, we're kind of done for a couple days until I can go get a new bottle on Monday. So we either have enough argon to finish the headers or to start working on the gas tank. So I think let's start working on the gas tank. Alright, so I've been really trying to figure out where is the best place to put a gas tank. I've been really trying to figure this out for a couple weeks now. Really, there's no perfect place for a gas tank on this frame. There's really not that many good locations. I was originally thinking of just putting it here, but then I don't want to put it directly above the engine. It would be directly behind your head, and it would obstruct airflow to the radiator, so that's not really the best option. So then I had a thought of just putting it right here, just having two gas tanks, one of them here, just next to the seat in this empty space. It's the most out of the way, and it's the furthest from the engine that we can go without getting involved in any of the mechanisms of the front end. So I think that this is just a lot better location than anywhere else. It is not perfect. Neither location is perfect, but I think this is a lot better than just putting it here. Alright, we finally finished the gas tank. This thing's looking pretty cool. Don't drop it. Now this was my very first time TIG welding aluminum, so of course the welds aren't perfect. They're not as perfect as I would like them to be, But it's, this is my first time TIG welding aluminum, so I think I just need a little bit more practice. You can definitely tell the difference between my first welds versus some of the welds I was doing later on. So at least you can kind of see I'm getting a little bit better at this. So now, I know I said in the beginning we are going to be doing 2 gas tanks, one on each side of the seat. I was able to build this a lot bigger than I originally thought, so I don't think we need 2 gas tanks for this. We don't need a giant gas tank for this. We're not driving this thing cross country, so I think this thing's big enough. Let's just go with this. We do need to do some type of pressure test with this. I think the easiest way to do that would be to like charge this thing with like 10 or 15 psi of compressed air and just spray some soapy water on this thing, just to make sure that there's no leaks anywhere. And if there is any leaks, we can just simply, re-go over them and try to patch them. Alright, so there was about 5 pinholes that I had to re-go over, and I just re-welded on top of them just to cover them up. And once I did that, I re-pressurized this and re-sprayed this thing back down just to make sure I didn't miss anything or if I didn't create any new pinholes. And this thing's fine. I didn't see any pinholes. I didn't see any air leaking anywhere, so I'd say this thing passed its test. This thing actually held up to 25 psi, which was a little bit sketchy, but it didn't expand too much. I didn't hear any cracks or creaking or anything, so I'd say this thing should withstand up to anything, hopefully. So I'd say let's throw the headers back on and install this in the frame and see what it looks like. Alright, so I wasn't able to finish welding the headers together. I ran out of argon and had to go get a new bottle. So I'll finish welding them when I have to weld the frame. They kind of warped a little bit. They kind of bent out and down a lot, so I had to bend them back up just to get them back into position. So what I'm probably going to have to do is when I finish welding the headers, I'm going to have to like cut a little section out of them and bend them to where they need to be and then re-weld them. Just so I don't have to, force these things back into position and put unnecessary force on the engine or on anything. So, gas tank's looking awesome. This thing fits perfectly right here. The gas cap is perfectly accessible right there. I know it's not really the best location for a gas tank. I know some of you guys are going to be concerned about having a gas tank directly next to where I sit, but there's really not any good place to put a gas tank. I know I already said this, but outside of just sticking a pony keg style gas tank right here, just right on top of the frame right here, there's really no other place for a gas tank. The shift linkage is going to have to go behind the seat over there. Air box is going here. Your head goes right here. There needs to be airflow to the radiator. So there's really no other place for a gas tank. So for now, let's just stick with this. Try to get this thing running and working. So we can finally move on and continue with this project. I know it took a kind of a long break from this project. I had to do that for a reason, not saying the reason. But we're finally back working on this. No, I did not give up on this project. I just had to take a little break from it. But we're finally back working on this thing, trying to get it finished, trying to get this thing running. Next video is going to be finalizing the front brakes, getting those installed, figuring out the clutch pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal, finalizing the airbox. Figuring out where the battery is going to go, how to do the shift linkage, all this kind of stuff, trying to get this thing ready so therefore we can disassemble the frame, weld it all together, reassemble it. Same old stuff we have to do with every single project, which is just stuff that just takes forever. So, huge thank you to Prime Weld for sending us that awesome welder. Links in the description below. Definitely go check them out. They are actually really awesome machines for the price. that they are. So they have a lot of awesome plasma cutters, MIG welders, TIG welders, and stick welders. So definitely go check them out. Huge thank you to them. But for now, I gotta end this video here. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next video. Holy! What was that? I don't think that is supposed to happen. Yep, I suck at welding, alright? Let's say it. I suck at welding. Good thing I have plenty of tungsten. Another one. I'm not as perfect of a welder as I thought. 3 pinholes so far.